Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Madmen with a Box Live, episode 107. Today, we're going to be discussing our Doctor Who hot takes, and joining us today is OZChris, as always.
Yes, and I feel like we have a straggler.
Oh, it's the Landry of the Q Walkers.
Hello.
Hello, Landry.
I made it.
Literally as I pressed live.
He escaped Comic-Con and is back.
Sort of. I'm still in quarantine. I'm quarantining just in case.
Oh no, that's not good.
Well, I'm not sick, but I'm just as a precaution.
Ah, yeah. Better safe than sorry.
Yes. Welcome back. Welcome home.
Do you steal a sonic screwdriver for Pixel?
I'm ready.
Don't you
I'm so ready.
feed into his obsessions?
I'm so ready, man.
You know that they announce a different colored one, Pixel will get it.
I will, because it's starting to become a problem.
It's nice. It looks really. Look, you get a box. This is yours. This will all soon be yours. I just got to get to the post office.
I appreciate it. Tell me what I owe you.
This might be the first one they sold. I was on it. I was right there when they opened. Like, bam,
Damn.
On Wednesday, right there. And their system was really good because you just order online and then they text you when it's time to pick up. The easiest convention purchase I've ever had to do. It's a new system. So, wow. And the booth was amazing. It looked like the inside of the TARDIS. And you could go stand in the doorway of the TARDIS and all the little roundels are around you. It was great.
Yeah, I think I actually
Now,
did.
all we need is toy stores to have just a Doctor Who section, and we're truly back.
Right?
We're back, boys. And it looks so good. Like, obviously, it's one of the worst designed screwdrivers, but it looks so good as a toy.
Oh, no, it's a great toy. I opted not to get one for myself, even though I really love it. I really love the symbology. I don't think it'll come through on the camera, but has all these, like, cool symbols here. And you can tell it just, like, this part just rotates to... create the circle. This is the expanded form. And it clearly has a lot of cool features and, little bits that come out. But I really love the symbols. And I think they're just really cool. I opted only to get the one for you because it's not going to fit on my sonic screwdriver cabinet because of the shape. And I'm really picky about the display. So I'm going to pass on this one for myself, but not because it's not a cool toy. It's really functional. So yeah, this one is yours.
I'm so ready, man. I've heard that there's like so many more sounds, so many new sounds, and I'm like, yes.
Oh yeah. Well, once you get it, you'll have to open it up and give us a review.
Unboxing.
Yeah, I love unboxing videos. It helps me decide what I want to buy sometimes.
Yeah, me too. When I was a kid, that was my only way of seeing Doctor Who toys, because I couldn't get anything for myself. But yes, today we're going to be discussing Doctor Who hot takes, but that'll have to wait. Why? There's some news to go over. During Comic-Con, which Landry the Q Walkers was at, they announced officially a new spinoff, a 5-part spinoff, The War Between the Land and the Sea, starring...
You're going to butcher this.
No, you're going to go ahead and say it.
Our new people. These great, talented people who everyone can read their names.
Alexander Devrient?
So, Google about the Raw,
Never heard of him.
Most recently was Renslayer in Loki, in the Loki series. Also played Tish Jones, Martha's sister.
Yeah.
Back in series 3. Russell Tovey, who played Alonzo Frame from Voyage of the Damned. And then we have, of course, Gemma Redgrave as Kate Stewart and Alexander Devrient as Colonel Ibrahim. They were both in the recent series for a series about the Sea Devils. Now, the thing is, Gugu and Russell are not playing their original roles. They're playing new characters. Because apparently that's what it is. Because I was going to think, this is such a weird choice of characters for a spin-off about Sea Devils. You have 2 people from Unit, you have Martha's sister, and you have someone from a Christmas special.
Yeah.
So apparently they are playing new characters.
I just don't get why they would go ahead and bring that. Why would you like? I'm glad that they're getting more work, but why would you bring them back when they've been in Doctor Who before as side characters for a spin-off? It's just it.
I mean, to be fair, this is Doctor Who. It happens. This happened in Classic Who almost every time.
But it's weird that it's happening.
This actor that was in this episode with the Cybermen is now in this episode with Glob the Destroyer. Different character.
But still, like when he went ahead and they were doing casting for this, they go ahead and said, okay, well these 2 have been in Doctor Who before. Let's have them lead, not as any relation to the characters that they've done before, unless this is another of Martha's cousins. Because that's what they did with her before.
That's true. That's true. But I don't know. It just, well, it's another. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know how Sea Devils could hold up a spin-off by themselves. Well, they're going to be obviously the antagonists, but still.
I mean, here's the thing. I wonder with the Sea Devils, because they are just that is a slur. They are Silurians. They're just a different.
They're aquatic Silurians.
They're aquatic Silurians, but they are allied, at least at times, with the land-based Silurians. Why would it simply be? It's really the war between the reptilians and the mammals. And why would the Sea Devils not also amphibians? True. Why would they not also work with the land variant of their own peoples? And I'd like to see them as well, I guess is what I'm saying. I want to see all the Silurians. I love seeing them work together. But
they're like the cousin that you see every once in a while that you don't really get along with.
They worked together with Warriors of the Deep, right?
Yeah, they did. Yeah. I think that's the only time, not counting expanded material.
None of them. And Sea Devils, had 2 appearances? 3?
3.
3 now total.
Yeah. Sea Devils, Warriors of the Deep, and Legend of the Sea Devils.
Yeah.
Yes, Sean is bringing
this up. They had 1 okay appearance and 2 not so good appearances.
3rd, 5th, and 13th.
Yeah.
Sean's bringing this up. They did show a special Christmas special clip, and it does feature a Silurian working in a hotel. I didn't see the full clip. That's all I know.
There's no context to it either, so.
I don't like the 11th Doctor era Silurian design. I want to see a return to the...
Well, you're not going to like that it's still the 11th Doctor era design.
I figured it would be.
Yeah,
I don't mind them bringing these actors into different roles. It's been a long time. Martha was, a generation ago now.
Yeah,
it's so funny. Yeah. It's so funny that for this one, it was rumored that Martha was going to be the lead constantly.
It's not.
It's her sister, but it's not even her sister.
Yeah.
It's like the telephone.
We'll have to wait and see. I'm still a bit iffed on it being a seemingly unit-based, because I feel like we should just stop trying to make everything unit. This is a whole big universe. Why is unit everything?
It's the first one. It's the first spin-off.
I don't care.
In this new era.
I'm sorry, but unit is just not really that interesting anymore.
I mean, I think the problem for me with unit is I actually love the idea of unit. I always was a little disappointed when unit wasn't more didn't appear more during the beginning of the Russell T Davies era of Doctor Who. And but then when it did start showing up, as excited as I was, it quickly seemed to lack distinction. It has been portrayed far too often as incompetent, belligerent at times, and just not the capable force I want to see it be. Something that the Doctor could work with, as opposed to something the Doctor almost has to work against. So I don't like the way UNIT has been portrayed in a post-Brigadier era. And I know we've got the Brigadiers, we've got her, but Lethbridge Stewart, she does not carry it for me. I miss the Doctor and the Brigadier together.
But there will be birds.
Don't remind me of Empire of Death. Please.
That would be bad.
Don't remind me. Oh yeah, Landry, you weren't here for it. My review of it was really bad.
Which one is this? I don't remember. I never
The finale.
The finale? Oh god.
Yeah, that was my review. It was really bad.
He even hated Sutek being dragged across the vortex.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the epic nature of that. It was absurd. I love the absurdity of it. A god being dragged through the vortex by the TARDIS, but everything else to lead us to there was just so. And that's not what Sutek was. He's not more than like the toy maker. I don't know. No.
Yeah, we have to just kind of. You just gotta kind of have to put like the pieces together. It's like, I guess because he's attached to the TARDIS, he's now a god.
Well, he was already. Okay, I gotta defend it again, because like the only good thing that came out of Empire of Death is it made me realize and obsess over Pyramid of Mars. The Osirans were basically godlike creatures already.
No, they were aliens, and just Earth interpreted them as gods.
No.
Well, even to the Time Lords, they were beyond, but they were still just aliens. They're just high-tech aliens that were godlike because they were so advanced. It wasn't even
just tech, though. They had a willpower. They could force people under their will. It wasn't technology. It was them. They had the abilities. Right. And so Sutek had evolved himself so that he could go ahead and destroy the universe. It took Horus and all of the other Osirans to lock him down because he was too powerful. So that he escapes, clings onto the TARDIS, and he evolves further.
Okay, but none of that equals a god. Like the what I like about the toy maker, the Guardians, that whole like celestial race of beings, they are almost like primordial concepts, like Neil Gaiman's Endless, a similar kind of. They are personifications of concept. That's something just beyond. No matter how much Sutek might get powered up from whatever thing, no matter how, he is still not a conceptual being, and that's just working on a different level for me.
I'm just saying what it before Empire of Death, even it had all everything that I was watching and reading went ahead and said that and implied further that he was just too powerful. If he had escaped, he would have wreaked havoc across the cosmos because he was that powerful.
Sure. I'm not disagreeing that he's powerful. Just God and powerful aren't the same thing to me. Even if he's as powerful as a god, he's not a god. It's a different kind of thing. I wouldn't equate godhood with a power level. That's very it's almost video game-esque logic at that point, because he is a different kind of being. You know, Superman could punch a hole through the earth, but he's not a god. He's just very powerful. He could fly into the sun and get even more powerful and then maybe punch out the sun. He's still not a god. He's just super powered.
Well, that's yeah. Well, that again, Sutek at that point he couldn't make things. He couldn't create a being like he did after that. But
well, and I just mean in terms of like the manifestation, like I said, like the attaching him as if he is somehow connected to like the Guardians and the Toymaker, and when they are this very kind of specific set of creatures, he's something else. We can even say he's something more powerful. I'm not against him being more powerful than them or having become more powerful, ascended to a place more powerful, but he's not of them. It just he's just a very, very advanced alien being. Very advanced.
Yes. I mean, yeah, no, their race though, they were far more powerful. Like again, they were above most beings in the universe because of what they could do.
Right.
Of that will. And Sutekh had trained himself, evolved himself to a point that he was too much, even for their kind.
Chris, how was your trip?
It was good.
Yeah,
it was really good.
You missed
especially
the podcast,
when, yeah.
Now, moving on, we got a confirmation of a name. Our new companion is going to be called Belinda Chandra. That name has appeared before. The last name, I mean, not Belinda. Though maybe there's a Belinda somewhere.
There's Belinda over there. There's literally Belinda 100 feet from me. So.
Really?
It's very strange. Yes. My wife's name is Belinda.
I didn't know that.
Now
I do.
So what's the Chandra?
Crap.
From Ron from Surgeon Adventures.
From Surgeon. Yeah. Yes.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
Probably.
Coincidence. Or is it
Ronnie to begin with on that character?
Ronnie Chandra, yeah. Yeah. Using the name Ronnie, not Ronnie.
I would say probably coincidence, but considering everyone figured out Sutekh, she's probably somehow connected.
Maybe it's just one big plot to bring back Ronnie Chandra. But yeah, no, that's a nice piece of information. Next, Big Finish has announced a new series, Zygon Century. There's not really a lot more information.
Zygons.
What?
I said Zygons. There we go.
Yes. More Zygons. I wonder how many stories feature Zygons in Big Finish, now that I think about it. Because I can't remember.
Well, in the show, I was just thinking, in the show, I think they've only appeared 3 times, right?
Yeah, they don't appear all that much. That's just surprising.
Their original appearance with the 4th Doctor, and then their appearance for the 12th Doctor, and then 11th Doctor crossover, the special. I think that's it. Those 3.
So yeah, no, it's nice though. I don't like this look though. I don't know why they would choose.
They're shapeshifters. They can look however they want.
I know, but look, the face isn't right.
The Zygons always creeped me out. I always assumed that there was some kind of fungal aspect to their biology, which may not be accurate because they maybe more aquatic. But there's something always just, I don't know. When I was a kid, when I first saw them, they're probably the Doctor Who creature that creeped me out the most. Which is funny because you watch it, they're not really that like insanely malevolent or anything.
No,
they're very advanced. You can reason with them,
or at least you can lecture them.
You can definitely yell at them a lot.
All right, I'm back. I went to go get my food. Oh yeah, Zygon series. I hear that Bill Baggs from BBV is very angry because Now no one's gonna watch his piece of shit Zygon series.
That's what I've been trying to think of. I was going to post a tweet about that. About BBB's not going to be happy.
What is this?
Oh, so before Big Finish, you know how during the Wilderness era there was just like there was next to nothing. It was mainly just books or comics. So
I remember
BBV was an attempt to try and continue Doctor Who. The problem is they were bordering on copyright. So instead of calling it Doctor Who, it was The Stranger. And they actually had the actors come back.
I have heard of this, yes. I just
sorry. A lot of people from Doctor Who that went on to do Big Finish actually worked with Bill Baggs. So like Mark Gatiss, Nick Briggs. They don't like him anymore.
Interesting.
It is a horrible. If you go to their website, you will just stare in terror.
Oh yeah, the website is god awful. It's like early 2000s internet.
I mean, but it was early 2000s when they made everything.
Yeah, they did. It hasn't even updated it. But like, yeah, a lot of the Doctor Who actors that worked on it, I think they just did it because, you know, goodwill.
Mm-hmm.
But they were expecting to be paid, and I think none of them got paid. Barely any of them got paid. So it's funny when I think one of the things was when Big Finish became a thing, and they proved they can do audio stories. And BBC's like, okay, we'll give you the rights. We have a condition. Bill Baggs has nothing to do with this. You will not get this if Bill Baggs is attached to it, because I think Bill tried to keep getting the copyright so he can do it officially. So I think Nick Briggs, by that time, not friends with him anymore, was like, deal. And the weird thing is, Bill Baggs is still trying to do Doctor Who stuff, and it's god awful.
Oh my god,
it's really bad. He's like, okay. this one alien from an 8th Doctor novel, I'm going to give it an entire series.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't have Romana and K9, the Mistress and whatever his version of K9
what
is.
What do they call that? Oh my god.
This is the 90s, right?
And the cover of that series has a Trade Federation ship from Star Wars in the background. And it has nothing to do with Star Wars. It's just whoever the artist was, it's probably Bill Baggs himself, just took it and just put it into Photoshop.
But this is kind of like a thing that really was big in the 90s, was just make your own version of it. Just change the name. Look at Image Comics of the early 90s. So much of it was just, you know, I can't do X-Force anymore. It's Youngblood now. You know, that was the thing.
Yeah, but this was like really bad. There's a very infamous scene in one of their series, because they started off as like an actual video series. There's I think an infamous scene of like a half-naked Colin Baker and Sophie Aldred. Yeah.
Okay.
We don't want to.
It's the Stranger series is weird. Then they did Probe, which was like, here's Liz Shaw, and she's doing like her stuff. And they actually got the actress back for that. So
I've seen that kicking around. I had no idea these people didn't get paid.
Yeah, but one of the ones is a Zygon series. And then when I saw that Big Finish were doing a Zygon series, I thought to myself, Bill Baggs is throwing a fit.
Screaming, crying, throwing up.
He's screaming and crying to himself. But I don't know about the series itself. Who knows? I don't know. It's just Zygons as a series. I don't know. Oh, Sean says Zygon Century is apparently a single story set across a century of the Zygons infiltrating Earth.
So it's basically the Zygon Centaurans versus Rutans.
I actually never finished that. I'm on the last story.
I'm on the. I have 2 more stories.
Sean also says Big Finish has a new website and app too. Yeah, they don't work.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough.
It's
But you know what? I
very
did
rough.
see Josh Snares. They said earlier that they're very interested in the internet's reaction to it because people aren't freaking out really. They're like, "Oh, we understand. Do your best."
Nah. I know they're still working on it, but like from what I could get into the site, it looks flashy, but then when you get into like looking through your orders, it's actually horrendous.
Yeah,
It's so bad.
design wise, yeah, like through UI, everything.
User interface wise, it's not good.
Yes. But yes, there's a new website. Hello, Gervain.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Hey.
Welcome to the party. We only have a couple more things to talk about before we get into our topic of the evening, which is
All right.
Doctor Who hot takes. So with Comic-Con, going back to that, Doctor Who has a big push with Star Trek right now on their mobile app. Their apps are crossing over. So.
Yeah, the Lost in Time game.
Yeah.
They never do this. This needs to never happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking on that game, like 10 is the Doctor. That's the main focus of it. And I'm just like, hey, I love David Tennant. He's my Doctor. But like, why isn't it 15? He's the main Doctor of this era. We need to stop, okay? I'm starting to agree with the people that just say 10 is just put everywhere because he's popular. It's like, please.
This is what it felt like growing up with 4.
Yeah.
10 is 4. Like, Tennant is new Who's 4. He pretty much always has been.
Yeah. I love the guy, but like still, like you should be pushing your current Doctor more as the face of the brand because he is the current Doctor.
Yeah.
In all of your other media that you're officially doing. Like so it being 10 because he's just popular. Like come on, really?
I'm wondering if that was a request of the Star Trek side of things.
Why would they request it? It's just a crossover because the characters they have are from what? Is it Lower Decks or Strengthening Worlds? So that's one of their more recent series. So that's fine on their end. But like, this is 10th Doctor. It's not even 14th Doctor David Tennant. It's 10th Doctor David Tennant.
I don't know why. I don't play the game though, so I don't have the energy to be like outraged with it. Like, I'm not going to be playing Lost in Time. It's just.
Oh, I've played it. It's one of those. Pay to get more things to do more things. I'm like, I'm fine. If you don't want to wait, you can pay to get this done quicker.
But what we're more excited to talk about, at least Chris was, in the delight that he has in showing this to me. Doctor Who went ahead and they posted, whether it's Strange New Worlds, the best friendships in space and time, or classic sci-fi. Here's a Doctor Who starter pack for Star Trek friend in your life. And we're going to go through this list now.
Yeah, we're going to go through this because a lot of these choices are quite baffling, even if you're not a Star Trek fan. So this is essentially, you could also double this as a first episodes to give to a new fan, because that's essentially what it is with, replace Star Trek fan with newcomer. That's essentially what this is. So here's the choices. If you like aliens and monsters, the Star Beast.
Okay.
Which is
no, because as much as I love that one, the context, it's all context with that one. You have none. If that's your first episode, who are these people? Why do they know each other? Everything going on in Donna's head. The Doctor is 10th again. No, that's terrible. Terrible advice.
Ascension of the Cybermen, the Timeless Children.
Oh.
What?
Again, it's everything but that is context based. There's no
Yeah.
it's terrible advice.
Yeah.
Anyone who doesn't know Doctor Who would be lost watching this.
Okay, they have reasons. So let's go through the reasons as we've learned from the adorable Tribbles for the Starbase.
These reasons are terrible.
Yes, even the cutest aliens can become bothersome. Okay. Yeah.
No.
For Ascension and Timeless Children, emotionless, uniform, and hell-bent on assimilating the entire universe. Does this sound familiar? Trekkies and Whovians.
Guys, if you like the
Oh,
Borg, you'll
they
like the
used
Cybermen. It's just
Whovians.
like I could pick literally any other better Cyberman story to show a Star Trek fan.
It's not even just about quality. When you're coming up with this sort of thing, it's about context. If the viewer is lost watching it, then it's not a good introductory episode. Has to be something that introduces the concepts to them, which the first appearance of the Cybermen in David Tennant's years is great for, because it teaches you who they are.
Yeah.
You don't need this. You have to have a foundation for it to be good.
Yeah.
And the allegories for Cybermen of that time is more relevant to our times. The fear of technology taking over.
This is not a bad suggestion. I would say.
Devil's Cord.
Devil's
This
Cord.
is good.
The Hooniverse is home to billions of humans, aliens, robots, and gods. A fun jaunt to watch the Beatles record their first album in 1963 turns into blah, 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 blah. Fans of Star Trek, extra-dimensional mischief maker Q will feel right at home with Maestro's calamitous yet camp interference in Earth's musical history. I don't know. I don't want to. I don't know.
No.
Okay.
If you like crews and friendships,
Space babies.
No.
Chris's hot take of the night is that Space Babies is good to him, and
Not that it's good. It's not terrible.
I remember. Okay, you could say that.
Deep Breath.
Wow.
I mean,
No,
I don't even remember it.
it's Capaldi's first episode.
Oh, no.
No.
It was a very weak opening.
Yeah, no.
I love Deep Breath. Where he goes ahead and he goes ahead and screams at the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Oh, you big beautiful woman! That was great.
And then it just fizzled. Yeah, the opening was great for a moment.
Waters of Mars.
Waters of Mars.
If you like crews and friendship, I'm like, yeah, there's a crew in there. There's definitely a crew in there. It's a fantastic episode, but it's not really an episode I would show as much as I would want to. I would not show to a first timer.
If you like phasers, gadgets, and tech, the woman who fell to Earth. Yeah, okay. There's finally a good suggestion, but everything after that.
Wait, this is a good suggestion?
Well, we just
seen it before. Yeah, I mean,
we just reviewed it. We just said that this was like a 9.
The woman who fell to Earth?
Yeah, it's a really good episode. It's just that everything after that sucks.
Oh, I don't think I was on that. I don't think I was there for the review of that.
Did you miss that one?
mm-hmm.
I think I missed that one because my review would have been maybe a 2.
Did you rewatch it? You gotta rewatch.
I loathed it.
You gotta rewatch it. It's
the
really...
doctor chastises this dude who's been terrorized by this toothy-faced alien who's been absolutely terrorized for shoving him off the girder or whatever, yet she plants a bomb in him or whatever. The hypocrisy was so amazingly deep. No, it bothered me.
It's one of those things that the first time it bothered me. The second time, though, I was putting more into it than there was. I think he goes ahead and pushes her off, and she goes ahead and chastises him because she already dealt with it, because she makes the alien do the deed to himself.
Yeah, but at the same time, it was this weird victim blaming. It's like, this guy has been through hell. Maybe just cut him some slack. Instead, you had no right to do that. Actually, as a person who had been victimized by this alien or whatever he was, yeah, he had some rights. No. All right.
The Power of Three.
No,
Nope.
that's not even a good episode.
Nope.
Oh my god, this is baffling. Legend of Ruby Sunday. Just
Oh,
Legend of Ruby
God.
Sunday. Don't worry about the second part. Just watch part 1.
No, God, no, this is terrible. All
You
right.
like outer space
Did
politics?
an AI program write this? Is this?
Yeah.
It might,
you like-
it might have been.
If you like outer space politics,
Probably,
boom.
guy.
I mean,
This
I
is not a
guess.
bad suggestion,
it's not
actually.
yeah, it's
This because you don't. Here's the thing with this one, you don't need to know anything else. You get it all. Like they're travelers. They land on this planet and it goes south, and then they survive. That's it, and it's fine. All the context you need to enjoy this episode is there, and so this is not a terrible suggestion.
Thanks, Moffat.
Hungry
Oh.
Earth, Cold Blood. So that's the return of the Silurians.
Silurians.
Nah.
It's boring.
Just watch Doctor Who and the Silurians instead.
Dalek.
Dalek.
Outer space
Yeah.
politics?
Yeah, what outer space politics? Because the Daleks are an allegory to a certain World War II German party.
Nah, it's the guy who runs the underground, whatever that is.
Yeah, but he's more of like, I wouldn't really say that's political. That's more of like he's
Yeah.
just
The Ninth
a
Doctor was
greedy megalomaniac.
I mean, this is a good one, and I showed this to my friend who had not really seen any Doctor Who before, and it sold him on the Daleks, which he always thought were stupid. And then he saw this, like, oh, I didn't understand them until I saw this. I'm like, yep, and it actually worked very well for him as an introduction. So I can't argue it.
Let's remember this. Jimmy would have thought that Devil's Cord would go into this category. But anyway.
If you like classic sci-fi, The Ark in
The Ark in Space. God, if you like classic sci-fi, watch classic Who.
Right.
Wow.
Wow.
Earth shock.
You want to see a companion die?
It's want to see the emotionless Cybermen yell a lot.
Oh, Pixel.
Excellent.
Gonna love the one after this.
Oh God.
Survival.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
No!
Oh, wow.
This is such a like.
Oh.
This is the end of, it's the end of a series, but an end of an era. This is such a weird choice for a first timer.
Wow.
As
Well,
much
I mean,
as
here's-
apart from
contemporary.
Pixel, we defend
Contemporary.
survival. Like I would not show this to a newcomer.
Oh, I like 7. No.
All right. I have to put a note on this one. That this is contemporaneous with Next Generation, as I recall. This episode aired at the same time Next Generation is already on the air. And I would say if you have a friend who is like a diehard Next Generation classic era of that era fan of Star Trek, they might appreciate it for its simplistic morality and terrible acting. So it might actually work.
That's being kind about Next Generation. At that time.
Maybe.
Wow.
And if you want perfect Star Trek stories for a Whovian, head over to Star Trek's official website.
Look, if you want good sci-fi right now, that is on the average episode per episode better than Doctor Who, watch Strange New Worlds because it's fantastic. If you want Doctor Who to be good, well, let's just keep waiting because it's been okay, but it needs some work.
Yeah.
But that's our news for the week, and now it's time to bring up some hot takes. So, now I have to explain our topic to Jimmy.
He's
Hi,
dying inside. Be gentle with him. Jimmy, we
Pretty much
want you to
everything out of
live.
his mouth is a hot take.
He's gone.
He left. Sorry, I didn't mean to bully you. I didn't mean to scare you away, Jimmy.
He got the lay of the land. He said, no, thank you, sir. Jimmy out.
There, okay. Hello.
He's back.
Yeah.
He's back.
Hi. Sorry, it wasn't connecting.
Okay. Our topic this week, Jimmy, is Doctor Who hot takes. We all have about like 2-3 hot takes that we're going to bring up for Doctor Who.
Oh, this will be fun.
This is going to be a lot of fun.
Hang on, Jimmy. Ashan says, Jimmy's normal takes are so hot, I imagine his hot takes will be so mild.
I want to hear some icy cold Jimmy takes.
All right. I can already tell I'm going to disagree with everything Pixel has to say.
Oh, God.
All right. Give me 2 minutes, and I'll think of something, okay?
Okay, well, we have to go around. We're just starting.
We haven't even started yet, so you're good.
Chris.
Perfect.
Oh.
He'll come back.
He'll be back.
Start us off, Chris.
Me? Okay, I'm going to start off with my hottest take. I think the show has to respect expanded material. Now, it doesn't have to put it in a way where you have to go read, listen, watch that to get the full context of what's happening in the show if they like reference it or something, but they should respect it.
Well,
take it into consideration.
Lucasfilm Story Group does with the Star Wars material. So for an example, I wrote a Crimson Corsair comic. When they did the Star Wars Resistance show, they acknowledged it, integrated the concept of it into just this one small scene, so that if you read the book, if you saw this scene and read the book, you'd get all this context. I like that Star Wars does that, although not always successfully. You think there should be maybe some kind of Doctor Who story group that makes sure that the material is respected?
Yes. Like, for example, most recently with the 60th anniversary, The Giggle, they treat the Celestial Toymaker, the episode, the only other time the Doctor has met the Toymaker. Whereas we've seen and we've read in expanded material, he's met him several other times, and a lot of those stories are actually really good. They're really good stories. But
do you think that there's a danger of the continuity becoming so bogged down that it creates limitations on the writers? You know, because first and foremost, they have to serve the visual audience. I just think they should try. I think they should try. I just don't think. I think if they come up against a wall, then that wall should break. But they should try to stay within those walls.
Yeah, like I want it in a way where it's like you don't have to experience that thing to get a better context for the episode, if it's like referenced or if it's whatever. I just feel like they should respect it because, you know, for better or for worse, a lot of people have contributed to the universe of Doctor Who. And for them to decide, actually, no, you don't. They're not doing it on purpose, but they're going, yeah, don't worry about those. Those didn't happen.
All Chris really wants is the Doctor on screen to acknowledge Frobisher. That's all he wants.
Yes, obviously.
Mention the talking penguin.
Mention the talking. Russell, you coward. Mention the talking penguin.
I mean, I agree. So I guess if that's a hot take, I am in the kitchen with the heat.
I think with conditionally, I agree.
Yes.
He's halfway in the kitchen.
It shouldn't be the backbone of the story. It's just something that happened.
They should respect it as much as they can, as long as it doesn't detract from them doing what they need to do to tell entertaining stories. So they should definitely try. And they should have some kind of oversight group that you should probably lead. You'd be very good at this, that you just direct this. So
actually, no, the Doctor has done this before. Okay, so
I'm wondering if they're story groups, so they have someone focused on television, someone focused on novels, and someone focused on Big Finish, and they all meet and they look over. This is okay.
I think that's good. A member from each category.
Yeah, I still think it has to be that serious. I mean, Marvel back in the day, they used to do no prizes, where they would actually just ask fans to explain inconsistencies that you would find in this. So I think sometimes it's just, I'm with Chris. It's like I think if anything, a good writer would take up the challenge and try to make it all make sense. But I understand Landry's point. Sometimes if somebody really goes out into left field, then it almost breaks things at a certain point. So, always recognize you want people to play in your sandbox, but not kick it over, I guess.
Yeah, but then at the same time, you got to leave some sand for newcomers,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Balance.
You have to be able to play too. Yeah. You don't restrict.
I mean, there's so many like ideas Doctor Who has not done yet.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you know, that's kind of my problem with this whole era. It's just like they say that it's big, but it's really not. When it's like, again, with my problem with UNIT being like the center of everything when it comes to Earth. It's like it's not really that big of a universe if like everything is condensed to just Kate's gang.
Yeah.
And we want everything to be connected to Kate's gang. You want this past companion to come back. Kate's bringing them back, and they're working with UNIT.
One thing. It's one show. When the second spinoff is a UNIT spinoff, then I'll be on your side.
This current spinoff is a UNIT. Seems to be a
That's
UNIT
what it
spinoff.
was. Yeah. Y'all sticking on my hot takes now.
This current spinoff is a UNIT spinoff because
Exactly.
Kate and her boy toy soldier are in there.
It's so bitter. You don't understand.
I'm sick of UNIT. Move on from UNIT.
Nothing wrong.
That's
with
his
it.
hot take of the evening, folks.
Yeah, that's my other hot take. I'm sick of UNIT. Get rid of it if you're not actually going to do anything good with them.
Okay.
They're just going to be
man.
there. They're there for member berries. They're there to bring back characters that we know. And most of the time not use them, aka Rose Noble.
Yeah, and that was
She just stood there and got a paycheck.
Yes.
That was
Good.
weird.
The reason
You
why
go-
UNIT was
You
there
go,
was-
girl. You serve nothing.
The reason why UNIT was there was pretty much for their holographic VHS player. Yes. Landry, it is your turn to give us a hot take of the evening.
I'm going to go completely the opposite direction and counterpoint. This was not my plan, but this works out great. It is completely opposite of what Chris wanted there.
Oh God.
You know it. You know what I want. I want a complete reboot. I want to start over. I want to burn it all to the ground. It's done. I think there is a power in stories having endings, for one. Plus, I love the idea of seeing the Doctor through a new set of eyes, seeing the Doctor encounter the Daleks for the first time, the Cybermen for the first time, from a modern perspective, and just build it back up from the ground. I'm fine with that. I come from the comic book world. Reboots are always happening. I'm ready for a reboot. It doesn't take away what we've got. And I do think the classic stuff should continue in Big Finish. And I think the classic stuff should never go away. On TV, I want a new version. But I don't want to erase what happened.
I don't see it ever living up. It can't live up. Like, no matter what, it just won't. Like, nothing they can do can live up to what has already happened. So that's the main problem with it to me.
It can always, especially if they've got complete freedom to write all new material, all new takes, all new interpretations. I think there's going to be potential there's going to be things that fail, but things that surprise us with their brilliance. So that was my first of my 2 to 3 hot takes.
Okay. Anybody else have anything to say?
I mean, to me, I get what Landry's saying, but to me, wasn't it always the point? Didn't it always become the point of Who in the first place that basically every time you bring in a new Doctor, that's a reboot in and of itself? Just because they suck right now? I mean, it's like, it's just more, you just need better talent.
Like, I could even see the Doctor could continue. Like, the universe gets erased and rebooted. But it's the same Doctor. But now he's dealing with, okay, everything I know is gone, but back, but a little different. Now I got to find out how it's different. Like,
that
so
would be okay. Like, that's still the Doctor going on.
Right. But we still get it, but everything else could be a little different. And so we get the best of both worlds.
So that's what I liked about the new Star Trek, the Kelvin universe. So that to me, when they did that, I love that approach because much like what Landry's saying, Anytime I want to check out the Kirk, McCoy, Spock combo that I want to, I can do that. And if I want to do these new guys over here, I can do that too. And never the twain, other than that one time, they never have to meet. They both exist. We can go on and do that. I don't, as the kids always say, I don't lose my childhood. You can have all the Spock and Aurora can make babies if they want to, and everybody's happy. We're all good. So
I'll add to this. This reminds me of when DC was leading up to Rebirth, and they brought back Superman and Lois from pre-Flashpoint, and they made it a plot point, which is like they have to stay in hiding, but Superman will interfere if no, he won't interfere. He is watching over to make sure none of his bigger threats from his universe turn up here. But if he has to stay hidden, he has to stay hidden. Like the main one being he wants to prevent Cyborg Superman. And that's one of the big times that he interferes because he doesn't want Cyborg Superman to happen. So it's like someone who has all this knowledge of what happened in their time is trying to make a difference in a new new universe.
We've seen this play out in Doctor Who. We see it with an alternate universe of Cybermen. The Doctor is there. He's seen it before. He knows what's going to happen, and he's like the horror on his face because he has the knowledge that no one else does. And we're getting to see them appear for the first time, but different. That's what I want. I want that all the time.
That I can respect because that's still the Doctor. He's just thrown into a new field, and that encourages, of course, the classic era to go ahead and continue. But you basically have a new cutoff point where stories here will be different, just like classic Who and new Who. It has that cutoff point of the Time War, and you just get a new one of those, and that's okay to me. It's just the idea of restarting with.
Listen, I would be okay with restarting the Doctor at his first incarnation again. But it would have to keep the mystery like they are. I'd go back, take it back to start from the same point, but then build it. And that we don't know anything about him at all, and we learn slowly over time. But regardless, that is, I think it would be very good to go the other version where the Doctor continues.
You're not going to get that a lot of the time. You only get that in the first season, and after the first season, it's like, all right, business as usual.
Potentially,
that's true in comics too. It's like, for 5 years, this is the new quote unquote canon universe, and then we just bring the old one back once we've got somebody who actually knows what to do with it. So
Yeah, in comics, it's like 6 issues, which is 6 months, right? Comic comes out once a month. 6 issues, and then everyone's like, all right, business as usual. Now it's just give me the good story, okay? Now, with Doctor Who, what they should do is take a little bit from the MCU, which is lead somewhere, not just lead somewhere at the end of the season. You got to do that. But lead somewhere like the end of Game of Thrones, like you're going to a penultimate spot, and then what happens after that? What happens after that is exactly where you've been leading to the entire time, and then end it, and then you can reboot it. But you don't have to go. You don't have to do Bad Wolf, and then the next do Doomsday, and then after that,
The funny thing is, my next hot take is the enemies of the season concept. I'm done with it. I don't want to see it anymore. I'm burned out. I'm burned out of the big villain hiding behind the shadows every.
More big bad.
I'm with you.
I mean, yeah, I'm kind of there too. I mean, at the
Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, they didn't do it, and it worked great. Whereas in Discovery, kept that premise, and it's so boring.
Yeah, I mean, but Strange New World season 1 was absolutely fantastic. And what was the ending of that? Captain Pike was like, "Oh, I should not be here. Captain Kirk should be here." And then Captain Kirk shows up, and it's an entirely different universe, right? And then season 2, what do? Kind of did an enemy of the season, but at the same time, it's like, oh. What?
I am trying to remember how that one played out. I don't really remember it as an enemy.
It was like an enemy of the season, but they also had like interpersonal relationships with like the Doctor, and then no, I'm sorry, not the Doctor, but
the Doctor, not the Doctor. We'll go with that.
just like a Doctor of Pike.
I love that Doctor. By the way, he's a great Doctor.
Yeah, he's great. He also plays Janice in Dune.
I haven't seen Dune yet.
You're missing out.
You didn't watch the first one?
No, I haven't watched either of them yet.
It's really good.
All right. Well, if you read the book, you know how important Janice is. And you haven't read Dune the book?
No.
I haven't read it either.
Landry!
I've technically had a lot longer to get around to it, though, so it's a little more shameful.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and also you're considered a writer. How dare you?
Until now. I just think I just lost that title. All right, those are my hot takes. I mean, I have one more, but which was just the Master and the War Chief are the same dude. But you guys have heard me talk about that 100 times.
Oh my god! Why, Landry?
They're the same dude. Next.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Muted.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. It's Jervain. Jervain's supposed to give us.
Yeah, Jervain.
All right. Well, my first hot take is that the 14th Doctor is a Loki variant. It explains everything. It explains everything.
Okay, I need you to explain.
It's the reason why when he comes back, he doesn't come back in the clothes of the 13th Doctor. He comes back in his old clothes. It's all an illusion.
Okay.
14th Doctor is a Loki variant. Don't worry.
Yeah, I loathe that his clothes regenerated with him. That was weird.
That's right. It doesn't make sense. By generation, all of it's explained. So
okay. That is certainly a take.
And I warn you now, it's probably my best one for the evening.
Yeah, Jimmy. Jimmy, are you with us?
I broke his brain? No, come on.
I gave you all of mine, so if anyone wants it, I'm done. I gave all 3 of mine. So
well, elaborate on the Master of the War Chief thing. I think everyone else is familiar with it, but that's new.
okay. You've never heard my take on this? It's multifaceted. I'm gonna make it quick, but I mean, they have the exact same MO. They do the opposite of the Doctor. They work with alien races to sow chaos and meet their goals. They use the alien races to make things happen that benefit them. They dress the same, at least the third the very first appearance of the Master and the War Chief. They got the same look. They got the same facial hair. They got the same outfit. They're both renegade Time Lords. It's kind of like the joke. It's kind of like Batman all this time has had another clown villain named the Laughter or whatever. And no, they're different guys. They just both wear purple jackets. They both have green hair. They both have red lipstick, and they both do the exact same thing, but they're totally different guys. Okay. Then you get into the whole thing that happens behind the scenes is the creators of both characters said they're the same guy. And it was somebody else came around and in like the 90s said, no, they're actually totally different characters. Here's a novel about it. And it's like, I get that was official and they expanded on it, but we go with the whole creator intent. And the original creators said they're the same guy. Someone else changed it.
But it was that they had to make him different.
I think that they had some legal contractual reason.
So that makes him different.
Right. But I mean, they're very obviously the same guy. That's a hot take. It's very, very warm.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and say going back to the Silurians, I prefer the 2011 design.
You shut your face.
No. Listen. Honestly, I would prefer the mask that they wore to be their face with that long mouth.
Yeah.
Big eyes. Yes, but the original Silurian design is just awful. I do not like it.
You get out of here.
I hate to admit I agree with Pixel, but he's right.
Yeah.
It's not your turn to talk.
Both of
Jim.
you get
Not
out of
your turn.
here.
Yeah, so it's just that original design, it's not good for a lizard person. It's not a good lizard person design. It's not.
Wow. Wow.
As a secret lizard
Why
person,
are
I
you
have the
body shaming
authority.
lizard people?
Yes, I'm discriminating against lizard people right now. Listen, they're supposed to look
they
closer
are
to Mark Zuckerberg, and the 2011 ones do.
how they look is not for you; it's for them. So
Yeah, Pixel.
But yeah, so I think if those masks that they wore in the 2011, if that was the actual design for their face, that would be
Right.
the better in between. But if I have to choose classic or the new ones, it's the new ones every time. The Sea Devils are a different story. I love their design. It's really good. But the original Silurians just had a bad design. That's my my first hot take.
Pixel, I have a question for you.
Yes.
How does it feel to be really wrong all the time?
I've been asking them that since we started the channel.
Jimmy, did you have a hot take?
Yeah.
Okay, give us.
All right, here we go.
Doctor Who should have ended around season 5.
That is.
which one?
Because
Matt Smith's first season.
the first Matt Smith.
Okay.
And that's because season 4, I mean, you could have ended it around season 4. It was supposed to be one doctor when he was planning his entire run, but obviously he fell out with Christopher Eccleston, and then had to cast David Tennant. And like, when you think about all of Doctor Who, what is the best single season? From start to finish, premise to payoff, it would be season 1. But I mean, my favorite Doctor is David Tennant because he has the better episodes. But then again, he had 3 more seasons than Christopher Eccleston. I'm sorry, 2 more seasons than Christopher Eccleston, 3 in total. And when it comes to why I chose season 5 was because at the end of season 5, we get the end of the universe. Not just the end of the world, the Earth, not just the end of Gallifrey, not just the end of the human race with Bad Wolf. We get the end of everything. And it was really nice to see a new Doctor come into it and take a new face and still be the Doctor when it is the end of everything. And everything after that has not been as good. Not been that great, not been that memorable, except if it did end at season 5, we would not have gotten Peter Capaldi.
Yes.
Or the return of David Tennant. Yes, I can agree. Or Flux, in my opinion, because I just have
Heaven sent.
I have heaven sent, but that's why I said Peter Capaldi.
I assumed.
But yeah, I mean, I have a weird love for Flux. You guys all know that.
Weird.
But in total, nothing after season 5 with the Pandorica and the Big Bang has been bigger, has been better, has been revolutionary, has pushed the show forward as much as that.
Jimmy,
as those 5 seasons, which is why I choose those.
Yeah, honestly, that's a really good take. I agree with you. I felt like that whole first question build up where it went absolutely nowhere with that. Yeah, I think you're right. They could have ended at season 5 and been good. Everything else has been largely hit or miss. So I think that's a really good take.
Well, I think there's a
No. We're not talking anymore. I was just agreed with, and we're good. Let's go move on to the next.
No.
Jimmy, I'm trying to agree with you too.
Oh God.
Because you could take all that though, I'm going to say, and you connect it with my idea of a universal reboot, and then you change this, you build the stakes back up. I'm just saying those two ideas, they can work together, Jimmy. We don't have to be enemies. The war can end.
That would be really cool, because I did say we would miss out on Peter Capaldi, who I don't think is the best doctor, but I do think he is the best person, the best actor to play the doctor. He has the best range. He has any script you give him, doesn't matter the genre, doesn't matter anything. He could play it.
He's phenomenal.
And if you give him the season 1, episode 1 of the reboot of Doctor Who, it would still be huge.
Yeah. And then you get to see him encounter, even though he knows what the Daleks are, encounter a new universe's version of them and see how they're different, but also how they're the same. Just like we saw Dave Tennant Cybermen. And we get to see it on a larger level.
Not that I want to go ahead and go with anything that Jimmy is saying.
No, you agree. I get it. You do.
But if you did that, then you could still do Heaven Sent with Gallifrey from the original universe returning into.
Oh yeah, the original Gallifrey comes in and wants to destroy that entire universe to bring the old one back, and then you've got a moral quandary the Doctor has to face between the two different universes, and then he finds a way to make both of them exist independently.
But
it would also make Heaven Sent. It would also make Heaven Sent different than what it was originally written, and that's always good.
Don't you dare! My next hot take is literally that Hellbent is good. So.
Oh.
Y'all can disagree all you like.
Yawn. Move on.
No. And
that
I don't.
That is not a hot take. That is just wrong.
No, it's a hot take.
Who hurt you, Pixel? I want to remind you, I have a hostage.
Yeah. You're not gonna. You wouldn't respect me. You wouldn't respect me if I lied for monetary goods.
I'm just saying.
No, because Heaven Sent is one of the best episodes of television of all time. It just happens to be on Doctor Who. And then you go ahead, you have this fantastic character.
No. You are entirely right. It just so happens it is one of the best episodes of television in history. It is just so sad that it is followed by one of the worst.
Agreed. Once again, Timmy is right.
So Sean is saying y'all are the vocal minority. That's what he said.
Yeah, but did you hear what Landry just said? Landry just said, once again, Jimmy's right.
But the whole character piece of Heaven Sent drives the Doctor to his end. And he goes to the extreme in the following episode because he's been driven to that point. His grief has led him to that moment where he goes ahead and he stops being who he's supposed to be, in which the person he does that for says, "This isn't right. You know it's."
I don't think we should ever see Gallifrey. I think they're best left mysterious and omniscient, omnipresent, omnipowerful in the shadows. Something the Doctor does not want to encounter. But that's. I've got too many hot takes now, so let's move.
I agree with that because again, same with Unit, they just really did not do anything good with Gallifrey after bringing it back. The whole journey of the Doctor's gonna find Gallifrey. It's just oh, okay, whatever.
Okay, but to be fair,
now, and then now they're dead again. Woo!
That's just the problem with the writer. So Stephen Moffat brings it back. He gets one more season after that and doesn't address Gallifrey being back at all. So that's a break. And then what does Chris Chibnall do? He destroys it in his second season.
Yeah. Well, they shouldn't have brought it back in the first place. When you see Gallifreyans running around, like having meetings and running around with ray guns, I thought this in the original series too. It cheapens them. They should be something bigger, more aloof, more mysterious, more powerful. When they show them arguing over a table, they lose that. And that was true in the Third Doctor era too. They need to be something beyond us.
They need to be the Osirans. You can hate me for saying it all you like, Chris, but if you read the novelized, I had Tom Baker whisper those sweet nothings in my ear about the Osirans. Okay? Listening through that. And then watching the episode again. I watched it like 3 times. Freaking great episode. How Dark Gallifrey is the mysterious Gallifrey. No, it's Gallifrey. Okay. Do we have any other hot takes for the evening? No?
None that I can think of.
On Jimmy's, I still, even if it went one more, I mean, by the time Smith got to Clara's companion, it should have just ended, just stopped. It's just that, as much as I love the Impossible Girl, there was something about that time that just wasn't right. Just wasn't right.
Well, that's our evening. We ask you to like and comment and subscribe. I don't. No, you're not being dissed, Maranya. Your hot take.
Badge of honor.
Oh,
Appreciate it. But Jimmy's always wrong isn't a hot take. That take is as cold as it gets. I have ice in the freezer that's not as cold as that take. Pixel's always
Wait,
right.
I thought we had like 2 more each.
I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah, Jimmy, what you got?
What else do you have, Jimmy?
I had 4. So
Keep going. Landry, keep going.
no, I had 4 already. I just spewed them all out.
Yeah.
Jimmy, come up with something off the top of your head. Just boom, my hot take. Boom.
We've already been going
hot take. Hot take is shit. You know, I had them I had them thought out. I just didn't. I forgot.
It's going to be about how the Absorbloaf is the greatest Doctor Who enemy ever.
I'm surprised you didn't say that Love and Monsters is a fantastic episode as your hot take.
Because some things are obvious. They don't need to be stated.
To anybody but you, that's a hot take.
Never mind.
I also think Doctor Who is a show for kids from anywhere from 13 till about 20.
Oh, I think 7-year-olds will be able to enjoy it.
I disagree. Because what is Doctor Who best? Doctor Who is best when it's
how old were you when you first saw it?
I mean, I was about 7.
Oh!
I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's best for teenagers from 13 to 20, and I'm not talking about viewing wise. I'm talking about writing wise. Because kids hate being talked down to. You write a show or comic book, and as a person, Landry, who wrote 2 prolific comic books that were for kids, which made you about 3, which made you a New York Times bestseller. You know, kids hate being talked down to.
Yes, this is
which
true.
is why Danger Street is not a kid's book, yet kids read it because it was about kids. You put stories with kids in it in an adult setting, almost to where you're talking to adults, not talking down to kids, talking to adults, like Rose, like Impossible Planet, like The Impossible Astronaut. I don't know, I'm just spitballing. Those are obviously kids shows, kids episodes, but yet they're not written for kids because you're not talking down to them, which is why the show is.
There's a distinction you're missing here, which is the difference between kids material and all ages material, and that's something a lot of people miss. There is a middle ground there called all ages. The MCU is all ages. It's a perfect example of all ages. It's not meant for any one specific age. A 5-year-old should be able to enjoy it, and a 50-year-old can enjoy it. The trick about writing all ages material is recognizing that, it's all contextually. Like, characters can die, characters can have tragedy, characters can have struggle, but maybe you don't show it in a way that's going to be visually or emotionally disturbing to a child, and yet still give them more complex moral issues that they have to grapple with. That's fine, and that's what Doctor Who should be, is all ages.
Yeah, because as Moranya was saying, that Doctor Who originally was meant to be a kids show, and it became a family show. That's what it should remain.
But there is a thing to consider there, that from the British point of view, a kids show plays the way something more mature plays in America. Our kids shows, when we create them, are so wrapped up in soft tissue to not hurt anyone. The British don't care about
Teen Titans Go.
What do you say?
That's Teen Titans Go.
Oh my good God!
No, that's not. No.
Don't bring that up. No.
Point being,
no. When you talk down to kids, and when you specifically write shows for kids, you get Teen Titans Go.
Okay,
you don't get Doctor Who.
That's
you get is Booze Clues.
You
get Barney the dinosaur. Doctor Who was absolutely made for kids in England, but it was made for 1960s British kids, and that is not what children are like now. So what was a kids show then translates here to an all ages show.
I don't even know if it's an all ages show, because we already agreed. We already agreed a couple weeks ago. When does Doctor Who work best? Is when it's a horror show. When there's horror episodes.
Horror is great for kids.
Yes, not when you write horror episodes for kids. No, it's just when you write a horror episode and kids happen to watch it, and then they realize, oh, life is not people coddling to me, spoiling me. Life is kind of horror, because it's not fair.
Because you're writing for all ages. You're not writing for kids at that point.
I don't even know if Doctor Who is best when it's all ages. I think Doctor Who's best when you write it for a mature audience.
That doesn't mean it's not all ages. A mature audience it's not an older audience, it's a mature audience, and there's a distinction. It's written for kids that are going to be able to process that kind of stuff. Whether some 6-year-olds can watch a great werewolf story. They could watch the doctor deal with the Cybermen and watch tragedy occur. They can watch the Doctor die. The Doctor dies repeatedly, and they can watch that and they can process it if we present it the right way, a way that they can handle and adults will still find engaging emotionally.
All right, I agree with that.
That's all I'm saying. That's what all ages is, and that's where Doctor Who lives best. Is it should be for everyone, and written in a way that is accessible to everyone. I have friends who they want to see Star Wars, an example. It should just be straight up. If you're not like 21, you should not even be watching it. Like, they want Game of Thrones with Star Wars characters. Like, that's a terrible idea. That's not what it is.
That's not what Star Wars is.
Right. It's not what Doctor Who is, of course. And I don't.
I agree, but it's like, I think Doctor Who works best when it's like in between the modern age, Shining meets Hereditary. You know what I mean?
You're talking about what we would call all ages. We are saying the same thing. We're just saying it in different ways.
I think Star Wars works best as an MMO. Star Wars, The Old Republic, still online. Go play.
All right, Pixel, you can stop talking now.
It's a great MMO. What are you talking about?
My friend would agree with you. Okay. So, are there any more hot takes?
Any more hot takes? Are we good? I think we're good. that's a fine point to end on. We want to thank you so much for watching. I won't diss any of your comments, Maranya, I swear. Like, comment, subscribe. It does help out the channel. We will be back next week with something.
Something.
You'll have to wait and see, because we have to figure it out right now. But until then, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.
Bye.
Geronimo.
ALLONS-Y.